Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Amateur Esports Association National Tournament. Obviously here from the XP League Franklin side of things, representing Middle Tennessee State University. Very thankful for them and their ability to host our 4 wonderful duos. On that note, my name is DJ TJ. Welcome back to 4 more Fortnite maps. That is what stands between now and crowning a champion. And if you pay attention to your top left, you'll recognize many names from yesterday's stream. Let's talk about, obviously, you saw Thunderyard get the first elimination of the game. Thunderyard and Valen won the first map, and the second map ended up going, if my memory is correct, it went to Cry and Pessy, who had a pretty huge upset on Stratus and Phenom, who are your current #1 team by the points. And if you're curious on how the points work, you get a certain amount of points based on how well you place, but you also get 3 extra points per elimination. So far, so good. One kill wonder. I was going to see if they grab one or not. The top right might be a little bugged. It says they have a squad elimination, but I don't believe they do. So a little bug there. But, if, for example, if they were to die right now, they would get maybe 1 point for being 27th, and then they'd get an extra 3 points for their elimination if they had one. So they get 4 points for this map. In the meantime, I'm actually going to pause the replay, because I see that Ollie Otter has gotten an elimination, and I was going to talk about the squads as we go, but now obviously I have to back up, do my job, and see what happened on spawn for Ollie. So let's now see what Ollie got into with Gearzoid, and we'll talk about where each squad currently stands as the day goes on. Not to mention as well that obviously in the Twitch chat, if you look at the pinned chat message, you can see where their unofficial rankings are right now. Gearzoid and Ollie Otter sit at 10th. Gearzoid and Ollie Otter sit at 10th. Mataka and Allen sit at 9th right above them. And they get cold in the meantime, as I'll throw him back and immediately make sure that elimination sticks. So, on that note, I can also let you know that Ego Dome, One Kill Wonder, the squad we were following just now, they are our leading duo. And unfortunately for Frosty OG and Riker Viper, they are going to be battling from the back of the pack in 26th out of the 27 duos who are competing thus far. So, on that note, we can take a quick look around, see what's going on. Obviously, Ollie and Gearzoid are fairly close to some players. A lot of very talented players in this corner as well. However, obviously the players do not know that. See, there's Stratus and Phenom. There's Allen and Mataka, who are in a pretty open area. Let's see if we can find... There's Valen and Thunderyard, who are by themselves. And then here goes Riker. And now they've actually subbed in Chubb. I thought for certain that this roster was going to stick. So they sub Frosty in place of Chubb. And it looks like that they were running away from the action over here. So that covers all 4 of our squads as of where they are right now. All of them seem to be fairly comfortable in the meantime. Obviously some rotating players in this early game here and there, but nothing to be too concerned about. However, they are rearing a little close to another duo. Also for Chubb and for Riker, this duo, I believe, is they're still searching for their first elimination of the event. Could potentially find it here if they play their cards right, but I'm not sure if this other squad actually knows. Oh, they're way underground. I don't think they're going to know where the other one is at all. I thought for a second they were down here on the road, but seems not to be. I'm also just getting word from our lovely leaders at XP League Franklin. Shout out to Adam and Alex for their help. So it actually seems like that the 3rd place team today, which is made up of Silent and John. Silent has actually just signed to XP League Franklin. So how about that? Got an extra player in the queue representing Franklin. So I'll have to update my notes in the meantime with that. That is definitely a new one. But hey, that's what I love about XP League Franklin, is that we always get the most talented people possible. So on that note, I guess we got 7 players. Nope, wait. We have 9 players to worry about today now. So we'll keep a close eye on Silent because Silent was moving yesterday. So that is that's a big add-on. And we'll hop into another squad's POV. There's not a lot going on. We can at least check on Silent, see how them and John are doing. John's got elimination in the meantime as they've got not a whole lot of people around them. There's Ollie and Gearzoid rotating back from the storm. Riker and Chubb, Eco and the Wonder. Where? There's Alan. All right, now this is where things should get a little interesting. Obviously, a long, long period to go before we get into the action, but keep your eyes on the action right in front of your screen because these two duos are getting a little close to one another, and I think this other squad to the right has to know that Alan's out in the open. They have to know. I mean, we're looking at them right. I don't think they know. This is LJ and Landon. They currently stand, again, unofficial rankings. They currently stand in 22nd. They have 1 elimination to their name. So this would be a favorable matchup for Alan and Mitaka. I don't know if they do see him. They're going to take a few shots, but that jump pad up there should allow those 2 players to get away. So you'll take your damage and you'll call it a day. Nothing wrong with that at all. However, Mitaka and Allen might be able to actually get the jump. I thought those 2 players were going to be gone for sure, but they're going to take high ground. Oh, I'm honestly a little surprised they don't decide to full commit there, but got to be safe. You don't know who the 2 are, obviously. So they'll position. They do want to jump. Here we go. They've got the shock rock and the overdrive nade, which means they are going to be able to go far. Here comes the triple jump usage in just a second. Actually, might not even need it. They're just going to go ahead and full W key onto LJ and Landon. Mitaka's already on the backside trying to find room through these walls, and now they're going to work together to try and go top down. However, the break makes it just a little more delayed. Storm coming in as well will put a little bit of extra pressure, but nothing too major. Cry has also found an elimination on the Bulldog in the top left as well, one of your winning duos from yesterday. Taka getting close and personal. Have to be careful getting into that corner there. Don't want to get boxed, and you don't want to push by yourself. So now you got to try and pop the chug, but you take a lot of damage, and the storm's on you now, so the pressure flips on you just like that. This was one of the critical issues yesterday for this duo, is that they are absolutely talented. But a few poor decisions, a few poor rotations make it hard. Mitaka wasn't able to heal fully. We'll go down. Alan's got to try and find something now, but no, it's too late. So we'll have to run. We'll have to use the shock rock. Didn't get a lot of momentum out of that shock rock either. And that is the end of the game as it stands for Mitaka. Reboot is possible, but again, that's the type of plays that this duo, I mean, you know, that's why they're a part of XP League. You know, obviously they're really good. They're some of the best, but it's still something to learn here and there. So that's why we like to stream, make sure they get the VODs back. You know, they'll be better for the next map, I'm sure. But that's a tough decision. It's a tough one to let go there. So we will hop around to some of our other players. I was gonna see if I could spot some of our other guys. We'll go to Gearzoid, who is in the storm right now with Ollie. They're taking a very long route for just a little bit of extra loot. Ego and One Kill are happy with their loot, as they should be. I mean, look at their loadouts right now. It's exactly where you want to be. Maybe substitute a Ranger pistol here and there for personal preference. However, they might run into our new signee in Silent. They are underground, but, or not underground yet, but at least holding on to this. I would be very, very intrigued to see if they get ran up on right here. I get a chance. They're gonna probably have to build up. I still don't know if they know that there's a duo behind them. Just farming mats in the meantime. Obviously. Got Ego and Wonder who are creeping. Oh, they're gonna run away. They're gonna leave. I saw something that they didn't like. I have no idea what the call was, but I just accidentally run into another duo. I mean, surely they might have spotted him there. Are they gonna now pivot onto another duo? They are. They're just gonna randomly W key onto another crew. This is a crazy call. But of all the players to make it, I trust an Ego Dill, who looked incredible yesterday. Easily one of the best fraggers out of all the XP League Franklin players. You gotta be careful though, don't one get stuck. Working through the brick. Giving up the high ground. We'll have to go out and around. Ego actually might be able to slip through and find Goru, but nothing yet. Goru does have no shield left, so try to see what the play is here. You do the shock rock. Is the decision to leave. Flag actually doesn't convert on that. Flag drops down in the box. Someone's gonna find something. Ego Dill's got 2 health. 1 kill wonder gets out of the box. Is able to get back in time, and it's in. But they might get double eliminated. No, not before Flag is able to get the trade, and it's just enough for Goru to clutch that up. So we lose our top performing full duo in Ego. 1 kill wonder to a shock and awe call. If I'm being blunt, that right there is a bold decision to just turn around and W key. But however, right now in their best placement of the tournament, if my memory serves, is Riker and Chubb. Their best placement yesterday was 22nd, so not there yet actually, but close. Currently standing at 23rd. Cry in the top left getting another elimination onto Gabe in the meantime. Very, very, very worried about those players, I would be. Jump back onto Silent, though. I also do want to clarify, in case it wasn't stated, Silent has signed XP League Franklin, but John has not. So Silent is the only XP League representative on this duo. Cry is also going to work. I mean, I know that they're not one of our players, but I think I have to at least check on them in a little bit. We'll check on Alan and Mitaka first. A lot of XP League duos are taking their sweet time out here in the zone. Nothing wrong with that. Here and Ollie are now really only just now. I mean, they are far out making their way in. There's Alan and Mitaka. Xiaobao and Jufu take out a duo right there as well. Stratus and Phenom not far. Here is Pessy and Cry, who have set themselves up pretty well. We'll take a quick look in zone. They decided they're going to be A-okay with this hunting rifle shotgun combo, and it's working so far, obviously. As don't mind the replay bugging. Hop back around. Chubb and Wrecker have actually found their way to the top side of the zone safely. That is very impressive. And now they have officially gotten their best placement of the entire event, as now even if something were to go wrong, they are 21st. But I believe they got good odds to go further than that. No duos are in a very tough spot. The one with the most going on right now would be Silent down here on this bottom side, but the bigger question is where are Alan and Mitaka, Gearzoid, and Ollie, where are they going to come in at? We'll follow Alan, who potentially might be walking in to a fight here. Not a lot of health either. I mean, obviously medkits and many things. Oh, well, never mind. There's a bunch of there's a bunch of heals there. Still mat farming. The perks of the early game. It's only a 1 tick. Next zone about to be revealed, and it's close to Alan and Mitaka. It's even closer for Gearzoid and Ollie Otter. They're probably going to wait this storm out to play the edge here. I wouldn't blame them at all for making that call. However, it makes things really, really awkward for Silent, who might be pushed here, and for Riker and Chubb on the top side. So here we go. Rotation call's got to be made eventually. Silent, I'm not sure if they're aware there's a duo close to them. Surely they are aware. I mean, we're talking about John and Silent, who are currently number 3 in the standings. Waiting to pop this overdrive nade to get to work. Storm will start moving. Still got a little bit of time. Big rotation starting to finally be made. Alan and Mitaka will finally find their way out of the storm. And like I mentioned, Ollie and Fear will hang out there. There's a lot of action going on up towards the city here. But they are not XP League players, so we're not going to focus on them too hard. I'm very intrigued to see where the late rotation from Riker and Chubb is going to place them. Chubb also bringing SpongeBob into the match. That is a bold move. Phenom takes out one in the top left. That's one of your leading duo players. Surely Jay and Dredd have spotted these two. Looks like that's exactly what has happened. But also there's the rotation from Silent and John. You have to be careful as well. Very, very smart, though, to cover across the river. Still have shock rocks to deploy as well. Ollie Otter. Gearzoid will spot one. They're going to surely recognize that he's alone. They'll take a few shots. This could be a must-have elimination for them. Ollie already found one. It's going to be, I believe, a 2-tick, too, in the meantime. So it's going to make it hard for Goru to get out of this alive. That also means for Ollie and Gear, you cannot let Goru get out of this alive. Goru will finally be able to move, though. They're going to be able to get shots on Goru. Surely they eliminate him right here, and they do. That is big for Ollie and Gear, who will grab 2 eliminations to their name. Storm has also been called as well. Works out perfectly for Alan and Amataka, who will go ahead and tuck their way in towards the high ground. They are in a wonderful spot. There's John and Cry. Where is Riker and Chubb? It actually works out beautifully for Riker and Chubb, as they were on this far side of the zone. Somehow they're going to find the time to farm mats, but not before that exploding rifle of Thomas will find its way in. Looks like they're going to try and play for the maximum placement here. Again, 18th is a big step up from 22nd, where they finished the best yesterday. There's been a lot of eliminations getting fed to some of these top duos. It is a little interesting, a little concerning to see. Especially when you talk about the points and that there's no cap on the elimination points. It gets a little awkward. Still, all of our XP League duos are alive and well, as we'll hop around to a few. Here's Ollie and Gear. Nothing to be spotted there. Silent, pretty comfortable where they're at. Next zone to be called any minute now. Big move-in from Rival and Cold, but I think they're going to get past Silent and John without much of an issue. Won't face too much gunfire there. Jay and Dredd finding shots over Pearl. Follow this other side. Pessy and Cry rotating across. Ollie Otter, Gearzoid, and now all of a sudden Alan and Mataka are going to jump in. They are going to be able to get an elimination. How about 2? Big for Alan and Mataka, who are looking to bounce back after what I would argue is a disappointing day 1, especially given their standard. So, just like that, you will absolutely take those 2 eliminations in the meantime. It's going to leave players like Silent and John stuck between a rock and a hard place. Gear and Ollie will now jump on over a duo here. Taking this far side. They actually will be able to tuck into the zone immediately. Whoever made that call, severely smart. Skelly almost playing bait for their duo, but taking a lot of damage. And almost might get eliminated by another player instead. They will be by French Bulldog, so Ollie and Gearzoid cannot add that one to the tally. More rotations to follow, surely. Got players like Mataka and Allen playing. You got Ollie Otter and Gearzoid trying to find room under Thunderyard and Valen. That'd be a huge elimination there. Riker and Chubb now top 15. Big for them. Silent and John having a vert to play off of as well in the meantime. They'll end up getting to play right above Pessy and Cry, which is the better duos, but Silent and John, if they're looking to jump into more than the top 3, this is going to be your moment to do so. Still not a lot of action from our XP League duos. Nothing wrong with that, though, as Gearzoid will actually take down Chubb. In the meantime, I gotta go over there and see what's going on. being attacked from what it seems like is across. There's Oleander and Gearswood on the bottom side of your screen, but Riker's able to triple jump with that shock rock immediately. However, Riker jumps right into Phenom, and they will finish. I believe that was top 14 for them. So nothing wrong with that placement. Silent, trying to get involved in the fragging. Got very much involved with many eliminations yesterday. They're going to jump directly onto Oleander. Gearswood officially down and out. It's going to leave just Oleander by themselves. Obviously, very hard to follow at this point. Many of our duos stuck. Oleander stuck between many places. Phenom playing this vert over the entire lobby. Not under any pressure at all. Mataka and Allen are the only ones who are a little safer. However, they are being slightly pressured in the meantime. Allen trying to take down this vertical, but has to be careful. Stratus the spot. The cheeky play. Phenom actually takes down Silent in the meantime. That's a big elimination in your top left of the screen. Fry is able to get on to Valen. Big interaction between the top two. Storm will start to move as well, so Silent will try to get away and revive, but will be finished out by an XP League counterpart. Overdrive nade's been popped. They will use that to their advantage now, jumping across these builds. Do still seem to be on high ground. There goes John, which will knock out Silent and John together at 12th. Not a lot of XP League players left remaining. Here's Oleander trying to find something. Just trying to really hold out at the bottom here. It's really just Ollie, Mataka, and Allen at this rate. Ollie now rotating below. Onto the 9th zone here. So Ollie being able to tuck like this is pretty incredible. However, is right onto a new group. Mataka and Allen under pressure as well. Not far from where our fellow XP League counterpart is. They might try and potentially take down Chaobao here, and they could. However, Oleander just jumps right in front of the action there. Might even be able to find elimination. He places cards right, but Unbound does read it right, and so there goes Oleander, which leaves just Mataka and Allen left, representing XP League Franklin here in the top 8. Overdrive nade popped once again. Do spot Thunderyard across. Zone as small as ever, going to the far side, uncontested, and also unshot. That's big. Don't have to waste any heals. However, you've got Pessy and Cry here. This would be a big duo to start to play hot against today. A missed shotgun shell, though, won't do the trick, and now you got to be even more careful with another duo trying to third party. Overdrive nade once again will be popped. Playing on this low side, though, as you can see the zone. Got to be careful as well with those overdrive nades getting jumped out, or getting popped out into the zone. We'll take down the tree just for extra wood, I guess. As you can see, though, both players running pretty low on their mats. 26 wood for Allen. I do believe they're going to try and W key on the boat here. Boat, though, can't survive. Big eliminations. However, Mataka goes down. Allen's got absolutely nothing to build with. Trying to run and get a refresh of some kind. Will take big storm damage. Gets finally building materials, but it's still not enough to really fight. Have to go for the 1v1 onto French Bulldog here. We'll be able to play in the water, but you do not want to be stuck in the water like this. You jump on a French Bulldog, a big elimination, potentially grab. Huge, huge. 4 eliminations now into the top 3. Big for Allen. Nuclear even, if you will, which leaves Phenom, Cry, Pessy, Phenom, and Stratus. Phenom's actually out, so it's a 1v2v1 with Allen involved in the middle. Do have a chug to play off of as well, but that refresh did not help. Building materials spotted. Very bold in the 10-tick storm. You'll take 30 damage from it, but was it worth it? It does seem like a yes, and you're not pushed by any groups either. So it looks like Cry and Stratus. It's actually a 1v1v1 now, excuse me. Stratus spotting Allen. Allen 40 white health. Will be able to get to the bottom side of the storm. Not going to be able to find a player, though, but it might not matter. Cry going vertical does spot Allen. Stratus on the bottom side for Allen. Allen can't get him, which leaves just Stratus and Cry. Cry looking to go back-to-back alongside Pessy. 1v1. Spotting Stratus. Don't have control over the builds. Have to be careful here! 3 games! 3 different winners! It does not get much better than that. Stratus and Phenom are leading the elimination tally by a country mile, and they finally get a much-eluded win. In the meantime, this is obviously a look in at our wonderful Franklin crew as they're getting ready for map number 4. But just like that, finally, Phenom and Stratus, I mean, after yesterday, I was shocked that they didn't win that second game. They got upset very much by Cry and Pesky, who played their cards right, and they ended up winning map 2. So here's what I will do in the meantime. We can also talk about the standings. So we will do exactly that. These are unofficial standings. I must clarify. Unofficial standings. So here is where things stand. A decent game from Silent and John, but they will fall down to 5th. However, huge game from Alan and Mataka, who will get a huge 64 points off of 4 kills in a top 3. They will jump up to 6th place, putting a little bit more of a gap between Aliader and Gear, who had a decent 9th. They have been overly consistent in this top 10 placement, finally getting a 9th there. Ego and 1 kill, still playing off of their 4th place they got in that first map, but losing a little bit of steam there. As for Riker and now Chubb, who is subbed in, you jump up a little bit there. You're still looking for your first elimination. Also, I do believe, I don't know if they technically lose these points down here or not. I'll have to get clarification on that later. But huge congratulations to Stratus and Phenom, who, as you can see, have taken a huge lead up towards first. 264 points, a massive 110, and a win with 15 kills. So when we come back from the break, we will continue to follow the XP League Franklin Storm crew as they jump into map number 4 with only 3 more maps to go. We're halfway through Championship Sunday. We'll have 3 more maps coming back in just a second.
for sale no matter what they think I need. So let it be decreed, let this music serve the deed. Let it spread like a disease, let it spawn a noble seed. There's more than meets the eye, there's more than meets the price. If you can't see the sky, there's too much artificial light. I can't predict my path, but they can't fully see my past. I'm running from the flash, but heading straight inside the blast. A mountain full of ego built upon a heap of trash. It's exactly what you get when you can't fully do the math.
My mic was muted. Big apologies. Thank you to Adam and Alex for calling that out. Obviously, switching between scenes is too much for me, apparently. So what I was in the middle of saying is that Alan and Mataka jump in and find their first 2 eliminations immediately. And if you're wondering any score updates, Alan and Mataka, after that beautiful map 3 where they got a top 3, they finish at 6th place exactly. And right in front of them is Silent and John. Silent has signed with XP League Franklin. We welcome Silent and John to the XP League Franklin family. However, they did have their worst placement of the day with a 12th in the last map, which, you know, obviously is not bad in terms of this game's sense, but here in a tournament sense, they are very much going to look to get back on track. So we'll take this time to hop back around towards some of these other squads and get a quick look as to how some of our other duos may be doing. Ollie Otter and Gearzoid hanging out at Shaken Sanctuary, not far from another duo, but things seem to be rolling for them a-okay. Also, I will update where the teams are in terms of the standings. We will type out the update after this. Trying to check the rules, check the scores, watch the game, cast the game, produce the game at the same time. Give me a little bit of grace. we're in it together, and I will make sure that we get all the information lined out once we get through map number 4. But, again, one more reminder in case those of you who do not know, Silent is sitting in 5th with their duo. Mataka and Alan are sitting in 6th together. Gearzoid and Ollie Otter sitting in 9th together. Ego Dill, One Kill Wonder sitting in 10th together. And then towards the bottom, Chubb and Riker Viper trying to get up They're sitting at 26th right now overall, if my notes are correct. Those are unofficial standings provided to us by the lovely Adam and his incredible work behind the scenes, trying to track all the data and whatnot of these lobbies. So very, very, very appreciative of Adam's work. Also very, very thankful for Middle Tennessee State University and their constant support of our program. We are very excited to see what may be next between us and them. So in the meantime, Gearzoid's going to be jumped on by 2 players. Has to rotate back towards Aliatar, so that means now they will know where both of them are. Aliatar potentially at a flank of some kind if needed, but safe play was to quickly get back in time. Looks like it'll be slightly awkward here, trying to get up and around. If they're going to be below this other duo. I'm also being told to refresh their leaderboard, so we will talk about the leaderboard for the 3rd time after we get through this. We are all working together to make sure we keep everything correct that I'm telling you guys. Also, I will add as well, something that we learned over the break as well, is that because of a potential disconnect that could happen between duos, you actually get your lowest map score dropped, and Gearzoid gets dropped too, getting stuck in the box there. Aliatar will have to run, and they're going to lose Gearzoid in the meantime. We'll take a few falling Ranger pistol shots to try and stay alive. Takes a little bit more damage than I think Ollie would have liked, but now it's a matter of, does Gabe and Plague, do they have the rotation to actually make a play here? I think the answer is a no, but they will take out Gearzoid in the meantime. So unfortunately, we'll have to check back in on Ollie Otter later. We'll hop back around to some of our other duos. Here is Ego and One Kill Wonder in Battlewoods. Center of the map that normally is a chess game trying to land on or not. They're going to be fairly uncontested. Looking around at some of the other duos, Mataka and Allen might catch a straggling Phenom. However, we're talking about a Phenom who just won the game alongside Stratus, so you got to be careful here. Looks like Phenom's going to get to run away for free there. Can't blame him. So Allen and Mataka will mind their own business. I also did not catch how Stratus got eliminated. That is a huge elimination for the overall points. I mean, we're talking about a squad that is up big time. They're up about 50... Actually, no, they're up about 70 points on 2nd place. So, you get your worst game dropped. Potentially, this could be it here. So, you know, sitting on your 4th out of 6 maps. You're not exactly sweating there. Good news for any fans of those two. Check back in on another solo, someone of our own with Aliatar, who's going deep into the storm for extra loot. Check back in on Ollie in a little bit. Again, the early game always slow as ever. Jump back into Ego and One Kill Wonder, who have found themselves rifting. I believe Ego's with Skelly now, and actually are following on top of one another here. So, looks like Ego's going to full Ego this. No pun intended. They're going to go back in to Rift. See what Ego's decision is. Bo's going to try and go straight down. Ego is actually able to get a shot off. One Kill Wonder will now jump into the little Rift 360 kind of circle we keep on going through. These duos are just going to keep chasing each other through the Rift here. Falling shotgun shot, falling Ranger pistol shot, neither one will land. Actually, Ego's shot, surprisingly, in the meantime. So they're going to keep on going through this loop. We'll try and get a better view of it to not confuse anybody. One Kill Wonder and Ego Dill. It actually looks like they're finally going to split ways. There goes Skelly and Mr. Boat. There goes One Kill Wonder and Ego Dill. All right, well, that was an interesting game of chess or checkers. It felt more like a checkers game, that's for sure. We'll keep on moving in the meantime, though, to some of our other duos. Allen and Mataka now find their way in a bush over towards Sinister. I've not gotten to check in. Not gotten to hear from Silent yet. That's interesting, as I will try to find them very quickly here. Ego Wonder making a run for the storm now. I do not see Silent at all. So that is hopefully not bad news for Silent and their duo. I guess we'll keep a very close eye on that. Still early game, only on the third storm. Not a lot to go off of here. A Phenom playing a slow game. Ollie has actually gotten Gearzoid back in the game after going all the way to Sunken Shores for a reboot. So, huge play in the meantime from them. Like Mataka and Allen are going to make their way in. I'm not sure if they're going to run into potentially Pessy. Cry. I would imagine Pessy and Cry will hear this duo, certainly. At the vending machine, maybe they won't, actually. Oh, I take that back. They do spot Mataka now. What's the call here? Play it safe. They'll take control of the vending machines in the meantime. I still don't think that Mataka and Allen are aware of this other duo. Will finally be targeted on, but it's actually from Ollie Otter! The solo out of the entire backside of the storm! We'll take a stab on it, and then we'll jump out, which is now going to bait Cry to get involved! And Pessy as well! Mind games, to say the least. Ollie Otter and Fearzoid might actually get an angle onto Pessy and Cry here. Overdrive nade popped. Allen jumping away to get back towards zone. There is a lot of action going on here. Gearzoid running away. Pessy might try and get a few hunting rifle shots. We'll miss that one onto Gearzoid. Another overdrive nade will send these two closer to our duos, but now everyone seems to disperse. But they won't be far from one another. Ollie also a decent ways further back as well. This is dangerous. Potentially could be caught out here. I wonder, will Cry and Pessy make the move over? Looks like they're going to decide to leave. So I guess that gives us the time to check in on... Well, actually, I guess we're looking at our only two XP League duos left. I didn't see what happened to Riker either. Didn't even see their name in the kill feed, so hopefully not a bad disconnect for them as well. So that is a very, very, you know, forgive me, it's a very confusing game. This is one of the weirdest maps that we've had this entire event. I'm not sure exactly what happened with. I know that a few duos disconnected, but I didn't think that some of our duos would be victim to it. So, in the meantime, we'll follow our two remaining duos as it's all that stands between the storm and climbing up that leaderboard. Gearzoid and Ollie Otter in a really, really, I feel like a must-win type of scenario now. You've gone 10th, 10th, and 9th. And I think anything below a top 7 or a top 8 from this point on for the rest of these maps would be disappointing. Have to be mindful of these squads around them, though, as I'm not sure Proper is below them, and so Proper will be sneaking not to be caught out. I do believe that Gearzoid spotted Theory, which is big. Checking in on Mataka and Allen. They've got some vending machines of their own to use as well. Also have a supply drop that they might be able to use. Should be able to go ahead and knock this down, and it doesn't look like they're going to get third party for it at all. Or I guess second party in this scenario. See what comes out of it. I mean, dang, Allen picked up the gun so fast I didn't even see. It was a legendary AR. So that means Mataka gets one as well. Good loot, good mobility, great heals from both players. They are in a really good spot to repeat another top 3 or a top 5, which would be huge for their standings at this event. But they're going to be calmed down now, so we'll check back in on some of our other groups. I say some, obviously talking about the one other duo who is left in Ollie and Gear, who are in a little bit more of a tighter spot. Big rotation from Ollie Otter. Are they going to spot Dread here? It looks like they are, but they're just going to key right past them, trying to find their way into zone. They'll go right past, I guess you can call them teammates, and Allen and Mataka, representing the same group. Teammates by proxy. Looks like that Allen and Mataka are going to let them both go as well. continue to rotate. They actually are going to be able to tuck into zone here, which means now you wonder for Allen, what are they going to do? Here's Ego One Kill Wonder, who I did not see them at all in the little... I didn't see them in the map earlier, but all right, there we go. So we actually have 3 duos to follow, thank the Lord. They're going to tuck in as well, which will now allow for me to go on to Allen and Mitaka, who they're going to decide to rotate late here. Still waiting as that storm moves closer and closer. We'll finally decide to move now. They've got the shock rocks. We'll be able to use those to get a little bit of movement boost and those extra jumps if they want them. Mitaka popping another one. Spotted a few players rotating in front, but they're a little too far to take any action on it. As we're going to try and get back to Ollie's POV, as they are in a very, very interesting spot right now. Caught between a lot of duos here on the bottom side of Battlewoods. Not exactly the most favorable spot to get into a fight, especially if the zone stays on this side. Not a lot of positive spots to be in general, I guess, other than maybe this north end. Oh, and how about that? We'll go to the north end in just a second here. 30 seconds until the storm starts moving. Allen and Mitaka will continue rotating all the way up north, it does seem. That's exactly what they're doing, trying to tuck in on this left side here. The Mitaka gets almost looked like they were glitched outside of this wall here. Luckily for them, they will not be taken advantage of. Ego and One Kill Wonder have actually already found their way in the center of this next zone, which is, again, very bold, but not surprised. It's how they've been playing the entirety of the weekend. Storm finally starts moving now. Got a minute to watch these rotations come through before we see where we go next. On to storm number 6 now. Only a matter of time before we start seeing some real damage here, including some shots all the way across the water here from Ego and One Kill Wonder. As the rotations start, keep an eye on some of your best duos. You got Pessy and Cry right there. Obviously, Allen and Mitaka, the highest representing XP League full duo. Looking to keep that tally as they jump into a top 20 right now, but need to find some big eliminations and need to play their cards right to stay out of trouble. Will be shot at temporarily, but seemingly not bothered outside of that. See Gearzoid and Ollie pretty situated on this left side of your screen. Ego, One Kill Wonder, Allen, and Mitaka all together on this right side of your screen. It's a pretty calm game, honestly, thus far for XP League. Not too much going on. We've only gotten to witness about 2 eliminations, and also there's no silent. Finally, other duos will start to find their way on, though. That's Mr. Boat and Skelly getting involved in the action. They're currently 4th as they take down a duo there. It's big for them. Next storm location has been revealed. We're going further up the river. Mitaka and Allen will decide to make an early rotation here. Could potentially catch a duo lacking if they play their cards right. Maddox is right there with Prime. They're spread out, but I don't think they know. They don't spot him at all. So they'll have to set up shop here. Storm will start moving over the next minute now. Big rotations to go. Cry and Pessy getting their shots in at all these jumping duos. Boat and Skelly as well up there. Ego doing One Kill Wonder, positioned right under one of your leaders. Or your second place team, I should clarify. Finally, groups moving though. Mitaka and Allen will jump up a few boxes worth. Storm's still moving. I don't think any of our squads are exactly safe yet. You can see all sorts of action going on here from these other duos. Stratus and Phenom looking to repeat their performance, but Stratus goes down again, which will leave Phenom by themselves for the second map in a row now. Gear has gone down. Ollie, I'm not sure who they're being attacked, but Gear has gone down. I'm not sure if the Reviv's going to be able to get stuck either. It's Skelly and Boat, your 4th place group, trying to put emphasis onto this one. And Cash Rayleigh will be credited with the elimination, stealing it with the help of the Storm there, which is big for their run as they go up to 3 eliminations. So we lose a duo there. jump over to Ego, One Kill Wonder, alongside Alan and Mataka, our last two duos remaining now. Still being shot by Copper and French Bulldog, who are only a box or two away. Still in the relatively slower part of this late game for our teams, who are trying to play the safest game possible, it does seem. Again, I do want to remind those of you maybe joining us here in the stream on the rules. We play 6 maps, but your best 5 scores are the ones that are counted for your score. Your 6th and worst map, or whichever one it may be in whatever order, your worst map will not count. However, I think for Ego, One Kill Wonder, they're going to be fairly happy with the way this is going thus far. This is already better than they got a 24th earlier in the maps. I believe it was last map they got 24th, actually, to clarify. So you'd like an elimination or two. You'd like to potentially get Gabe here, but not looking to make a move yet. Alan and Mataka moving not far from them as well. As again, your perennial contenders, Thunderyard will take down one. Ego Dill trying to catch a few things, trying to knock down this Vert out the window. Is anyone going to be able to challenge them to make sure that Vert doesn't get knocked down? It seems like the Storm may stop them instead. I take that back. I believe they did knock it down. So do you have the Shock Rock to use? Need to get a build down. Need to be careful not to jump on the 2 duos here. Still have that Shock Rock to use. However, many groups playing around you. As for Mataka and Alan, they will continue to move. Might even be able to get an extra few materials here. They'll do exactly that. Mataka trying to find something onto French Bulldog and that duo there. They're going to be able to get out of dodge the scene. There's Ego not far on the left side of your screen. One Kill Wonder is ending, or he's going to end up getting knocked down by Mataka, who was actually trying to play around Plague. So 3 parties involved in that one, and it ends up being an extra elimination for Mataka, I do believe it should be counted. So it leaves Ego Dill all by themselves now. Alan and Mataka still playing the Storm beautifully, still playing these positions wonderfully, and they've got 3 eliminations in the top 13. Another potential big games at hand here. I mean, imagine what a back-to-back top 3 would do. However, similar issue to last game. You're running out of mats, only 277 wood, 250 wood now down there that Alan has remaining. They're going to jump all the way over, and they will get around each other to this tree as well for the extra wood. Actually, how about 2 trees as well as they continue to play this well? Ego Dill by themselves being attacked as well. Storm will take a little bit of damage. Mataka and Alan actually find a way to get under. They're going to jump up into the builds. Will knock out a few walls. Won't be able to do too much with it, though. Players starting to fall. Top 9 now. They get Billion stuck between a lot of places, between a 90-degree angle, and he can't watch 2 places at once. 4 eliminations now. Top 7 for these 2. Still room to work as they continue to play the Storm exactly how they want. Running out of builds, though, you're going to have to make a decision to fight or to hold out. 50 wood. About 150 total building materials in the hands of Mataka. Alan, not sure how much they have. I don't believe it's too much either. Pessy and Cry on this top side. Are they going to be able to knock them down? Shotgun shell doesn't hit onto Pessy. I cannot believe that misses. Jumps down. Alan takes a hefty amount of damage, but stays alive in the meantime. Mataka able to rotate over. Try to get Prime. Not going to be able to. Alan tries to heal in time. Will not. They find Skelly down the bottom side, sitting here in the top 3. Will be knocked out by Cry, who will look to get another game win alongside Pessy, but looking for their first win of the tournament is Boat and Skelly. Boat able to get one down. Skelly as well. 2v1 now. Cry not able to do too much. Is there any answer that Cry can find? We've seen a crazier 2v1, but that Storm is hard to play around. Boat knocked down. 1v1. Skelly and Cry. Can Cry do it again? Do the unthinkable, young blood. Skelly stuck in the air. Stuck inside, and Skelly will find a way to get their first win of the tournament. 4 different maps and 4 different winners. It just gets better as we go. I mean, what more can you ask for? Huge for Boat and Skelly. Boat goes for 7 eliminations. They get 8 total and the win. Again, we'll take a look at the unofficial standings, and as you can see, Huge catch-up game for the rest of the lobby. Cry and Pessy, a massive second place. Back-to-back second places. 7 eliminations as well. Huge game from Boat and Skelly to get to 89 points and to jump up to 248 total, jumping ahead of Thunderyard and Valen. As I'm going to double-check and make sure the leaderboard is updated. Yes, it is. Phenom and Stratus, their worst game of the day, which is not the end-all, be-all for them. Again, your worst map will not be included, excuse me, out of the scoring. So that hurts their total score, but it won't matter when it is all said and done. Pataka and Allen, though, that is another huge top 3 with another 4 kills. It's another 64 points. It actually will keep them in the running, very much so in the running for this event. Going down the leaderboard, Silent, who I'm not sure what happened in that last map. I didn't get to see them. Got eliminated early there. I guess that must be why. Ego, 1 kill wonder, huge 5th place. It's almost their best placement of the day, but only 1 elimination. Keep it to their 2nd. Gearswood and Aliato, a game to forget. Their worst of the tournament thus far. And then we didn't get to see much about what happened with Riker and Chubb, who finished 22nd in that last game, it does seem. So, this is actually, they finished 24th. This is Frosty and Riker's games from yesterday, I do believe. So, on that note, still waiting to see what games end up getting dropped. We're not going to know which ones officially are dropped per duo until we get through the 6 maps, but man, it is coming down to the wire. So we're going to go to a short break, but when we do come back, we will have map number 5 getting closer and closer to the culmination of Championship Saturday in the AEA National Tournament. We'll be right back.
sometimes I'm still on my feet, my feet. Yeah, I'll leave behind a legacy built off of my dreams. No time to waste, we only get one chance to achieve. I know I'm falling on the ground, yeah, I still believe, believe. Cause you could try to knock me down, kick me while I'm on the ground. Every moment's worth a try. You're gonna see me in the sky, cause it's all about the rise.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to map number 5 of AEA Nationals. Once again, my mic has been slightly bugging, so sorry for not having everything exactly on time, but now you all should be able to hear me without a problem. So, this is all that I was saying. I was going to very quickly talk about the standings so that you know where your favorite duos are. Sitting at 5th is Mataka and Allen, one of our very own in Silence, sitting at 8th. Ego Do, One Kill Wonder at 9th. Gearzoid and Aliot are sitting at 11th. And then Riker and Chubb sitting at 26th. Frosty played yesterday. So on that note, we can hop on to things now. And obviously Allen and Mataka pretty chill out here over at Heatwave Harbor. Now, however, obviously not exactly the freest spot. There are a few around once we start to get towards zone, but we do have some familiar faces getting a little too close for comfort. We'll see if they run into each other in just a little bit. Try and find some of our other players in the meantime. Let's see here. We got looking for Silent. Here is Ego doing One Kill Wonder. We'll hop into their POV in the meantime. We'll check on Silent in a bit. See if actually we can find Silent very quickly. There's Silent. We'll go and find them later. See Ego doing One Kill Wonder. Take some time here to take down the bots. That will, however, alert these other few. I thought there was another duo. I guess I actually was looking at the bots. I did not see the coloration of the arrows, so that is on me. Now we'll hop on to see where Silent's at, and we can actually get locked into this game. Forgive me for things being a little different, as Silent has already found elimination, but what I will say is Silent might just find Boat hiding out here. We'll actually find that. Wait a minute. This is Boat and Skelly that I think Silent's about to knock out, who is your current third place standing duo. This would easily be their worst map, I believe, the entire tournament. But as we see Silent getting a few extra shots here, all that I'm going to add in is, it's a little different from what you're used to seeing on the XP League stream. Normally we are casting the mid to late game, not the early to late game. So sorry for the extra tech issues. Sorry for the awkward comms here and there. But I believe now I've laid out all the rules, all the standings, all the updates. And Silent and John are going to follow Boat into the ocean at this rate. Still trying to find extra shots. You have plenty of ammo to do so. And so Silent, I mean, has plenty of reason to try and really starve this elimination out, but Still gonna have to try and track down Boat, who only seems to be moving further and further away, and I believe might have even taken either another overdrive nade or maybe even a jump pad based on the movement. We'll see what it was. I believe it was an overdrive nade. Plenty of shield here that they'll be able to pick up and hold in the meantime. It is overdrive nades. Extra shots will be found. Are they gonna make the decision to leave Boat? That answer is a yes. I'm a little surprised, honestly, to see if they're gonna let Boat go. You know, letting one of your best 3 duos rotate instead of, and reboot instead of full committing to that. That is definitely bold in Map 5, but also I'm not the Fortnite player in the lobby, so I trust their decision-making. Alan and Mataka have taken damage in the meantime. They're being rushed onto by Boo Boo and their duo now. Trying to take up on high ground. They do get above Proper and Boo Boo. Proper in an awkward spot here. This exploding rifle's going to do damage as well. Proper's exposed, but Alan doesn't look that way. Looks to try and go to Boo Boo instead. Rotating up behind, might be able to catch Proper out there, looking the wrong way though, and it won't matter as they already got down underground, so it looks like it'll be the call to not push them in the meantime. Or potentially play maybe the porta potties that are basically teleporters. We'll see what the play is here. Looks like it's going to be to wait this out in the meantime. While they are playing the slow game with not much to cast, we'll hop around to some of our other duos and see how they're doing. Ego and One Kill Wonder have made their way out of Battlewoods now, and they are a little close to a few rotating squads. I seriously doubt they're going to try and get involved in that action, but keep a close eye on it in the meantime. Speaking of the kill feed in the left to try and keep tabs on everyone, French Bulldog has been a player who's popped up there multiple times. We haven't talked about French Bulldog and Copper too often. They are actually sitting at 6th with a very underrated 173 points. They're very much in contention. They're 2 big top 3s away from being right there towards the top, but potentially free kills here for Ego. Only gets 1 shot into Billy. We'll be able to jump over. Big shotgun shell on the top of that brick. Won't exactly make it possible to shoot through. However, gotta be careful with these edits here. You might get Billion a free kill. Not if Ego Dill has anything to say about it. And a deserved elimination on the Billion surely is evident now. But the knock goes for flag. So it's not gonna count for Ego Dill. That's a heartbreaker there after a big 1v1. Fall damage taken. One Kill Wonder is caught out. It will now open the door for a third party from Flag. And that duo side of things, Goru and Flag will take out One Kill Wonder efficiently. Chug Jug will be used in the meantime, but also not being chased from the back either. That is a little bit of a shock for and Flag. So now we get to hop around to another POV. We'll go over towards Ollie Otter and Gearzoid, Riker and New Chubb. Ollie Otter and Riker are both going to intertwine here. Gearzoid and Ollie will isolate the 1v1. They'll get Riker first. They're going to get Chubb stuck off as well. And it will be a quick 2 eliminations in Ollie Otter's name, but Ollie Otter does lose a lot of shield in the meantime, so we'll have to use this Chug Jug, and I'm actually surprised they didn't use the shield pots there instead, but I guess free Chug Jug, why not? So all of a sudden, the early game picks up just like that. So hop around to some of these other squads. Still in first place, not comfortably, but by a little bit of a margin is Stratus and Phenom. They'll look to hold off their lead against Cry and Pessy, who have gone, in the last 3 maps, they've gone 1st, 2nd, and 2nd. Whereas for Stratus and Phenom, they've gone 2nd, 1st, and 16th. So open up the door there, especially if Cry and Pessy don't have a bad map, which I believe would be a top, maybe 15, top 10. Chabao jumped on immediately and is absolutely destroyed. Jufu stuck up in the air, surely will get knocked out, but no, actually no shots hit from Stratus. A little bit of a shock there, but now just needing to find this injured player and knock him out. Where did they go? You need to guarantee this elimination. Phenom is actually able to rotate, looking for a hunting rifle shot. Won't be able to knock down Jufu. Will take one more shot at it. Will hit him with that one, which will open up the door for a push. Proper and Boo Boo in range. Need to get this elimination now, and you find it. That is big. Extra Chug Jug as well if it's needed, which I don't believe it's needed from any of these players. They took no damage. We'll get the Shock Rocks, though. And also a little bit of extra ammo, a little bit of extra mats. So big from Stratus and Phenom, who will incorporate their count to 2. Is now I got to pause the video a little bit because, or pause the replay because Ego just got an elimination. So now I got to hop back. We got a little caught up in one of the other fights. Now I got to find where in the world Ego is out of this long list of players. I guess we're about to find it this way. So we'll go to Ego's POV here. This is the bad part about using these replays, is that it's very easy, but also it is a pro that we get to come back and watch it. So we'll watch Ego Dill's POV now and see what did we miss out on. Lost 1 kill wonder. Trying to fight off Goru and Flag still, who actually did decide to pursue Ego Dill when it was all said and done. So that's a little bit of a shock. Immediately able to find the top of Goru and makes it a 1v1 with a Chug Jug to use as well. So just like that, it changes everything about how this fight could have gone. Player gets directly on top of them, trying to win the 1v1 against Flag. Takes a little bit of damage. We'll be able to knock out Goru. Oh, actually doesn't knock down Goru yet. Now we'll do that's big for the points, but at this point, you're talking about a 20th place, so not sure what you're fighting for unless Ego can get out of here in time. They both will space out. I would imagine both players are going to try to get out of each other's way. No third parties are on either, so we'll give time for Ego to heal. No immediate push from either player. They'll run away from one another, and the solos will look to go reboot their fellow duos. So just like that, that's how that fight is done and dusted. Gearzoid and Olliater still rotating in from the storm. It's been a very common strategy among many duos. It looks like Mr. Boat did revive Skelly. That is big for them and their potential map number 5 here. Haven't checked in on Silent in a little bit, as I'm trying to see where they are right about now. There's Ego Dill in Battle Woods. Don't see Silent, so we'll go to the map. Silent got eliminated, which is definitely a shock to me. I was gonna see John got eliminated too, so Silent and John have had a nightmare last few maps. That goes now for them. They were almost a lock for top 4, and their last two maps was a 12th and a 25th, and that right there is going to be probably a top 20 for them, and only your worst map is the one that gets taken out. So that right there, that hurts a lot for their stake in this game, or in this tournament overall. I mean, you only get one more map left after this. It's gonna take a nuclear performance. We're talking about maybe 10 kills and a win to try and get back up. But in better news, we'll continue to follow our XP League duo and Ego and 1 Kill Wonder, where it seems like that both these duos are going to try and find their way onto Flag, who's by themselves. Have to be careful not to get third party here. Flag will try and pop an overdrive nade, but instead you get a little bit of a juke if you want to get up and around. Not able to get a shell onto the head of Flag either. Ego who will be able to finally take pistol shots, but Flag might run into a free elimination for these other two. Thunderyard and Valen, who are just going to watch from the sidelines. Thunderyard and Valen sit at 4th right now as well. They were the first duo who won in the tournament. Flag jumps up to challenge. It's a crazy bold move, but I guess back against the wall. Where is the third party call going to come out from Thunderyard and Valen? They still are not pushing. Flag will be eliminated now, so big for Ego Dill. It's a grab too, but do Thunderyard and Valen get involved in this fight is my bigger question, and I think that answer is a no. It is a no. They're just going to sit there. Very, very interesting to watch the psychology behind the decision-making from these young phenoms. No pun intended to the player phenom who's in this tournament, but always, always interesting to watch how they decide to play, especially for one of your more confident duos. I mean, we're talking about a Thunderyard and Valen who have 11 eliminations to their name. They have a win under their belt. They have a top 5 and 2 top 6s. In the 4 maps, I mean, you know, I think a little bold not to go there, but also you can never blame someone for taking the safe play out. So we'll go over to Mataka and Alan. As I don't believe there's many of our duos other than here's Ollie and Gearzoid who are stuck on this bottom side. I don't think we have too many who are stuck out, as now all of a sudden Alan will probably be able to watch these two go across their side here. I say that, but it's a slower rotation from Gearzoid and Olliater. But we'll keep a closer eye on them, as they'll be able to pop this shock rock and get their loot back up. Give them plenty of room to rotate on out. We'll have no issues with the shock rock doing so, and now we'll get to tuck into zone here. I will say this, it's definitely a tighter early game, especially by the 5th storm. I'm a little surprised to see that we're already down to our top 16, which means we're probably due for a slow mid game. However, unless Olliater and Gearzoid might just jump onto Copper here. I don't think Copper hears him or sees him at all. French Bulldogs off to the side as well. Again, this is a roster that's top 6 in the entire tournament right now. Surely French Bulldog will hear Aliatar jumping behind them. They don't decide to push, though. Instead, they're going to fire onto Skelly and Mr. Boat, so they'll take a different fight. Tucked into the corner of the circle here. Have to watch out for the 2 rotating behind. They took a few shots on the Cyberman, but not able to finish those 2 out. Cyberman jumping across will take a little bit more shield damage, but instead it'll be a focus onto Mr. Boat. But with all those materials and all that wood and steel to go through, I seriously doubt that a player is going to be under too much pressure. 1 kill wonder has just gone down, which means we're going to pivot. Hop on over to Ego Dill, see what in the world just happened to these 2. We'll come back over in just a second. Ego Dill is already running away. It was Stratus and Phenom who got onto the 2 there. So of all the duos to try and fight against, that's a tough one to see, especially in the top 16, so they'll try to stay alive. Looks like Aliatar and Gearzoid decided to leave that fight, and they'll go ahead and they'll make these early rotations. This has always been one of the more interesting parts of the, again, that psychology, the decision-making is how early do these duos decide to rotate? I mean, Alan and Mataka have normally been a slower rotating duo, I feel like, this tournament. Unless I'm getting them confused with another XP League duo, which I don't think they are, or I am. But now all of a sudden they're going to be under pressure here. That Brit can only stand up against so much AR gunfire, or fire in general. It's been a long day. We're almost to the end. Gearzoid and Ollie will rotate right above Ali. I'm trying to figure out here what they're doing. Alan and Mataka won't be able to turn around. I thought they might have challenged, but no shots. Proper will take out Gabe on the top side of your screen. Ego Dill's still by themselves. Follow-up opportunity surely coming soon for any of our duos. I believe Aliatar is immediately back in the gunfight as well. Loses the shield here. Still does have Gearzoid alive, though, which is obviously important. We've seen many of our players get caught out in 1v2s. However, much better play. Proper and Cyberman knocked out of the game at the hands of Copper. This right here is a slow mid-game I was referring to. However, Boo Boo and Unbound having a Doomsday 1v1 over in the water over there. They might be able to steal an elimination here. Aliatar does steal an elimination onto Boo Boo. They might be able to steal one more onto Unbound as well, who's only one more shot. This would be huge to find 5 eliminations for these 2. Would be on pace for one of their best games, but Unbound's able to heal in the meantime. Trying to break those builds. We'll be able to do so, but it's a little too late as Unbound's able to full heal. However, next zone is behind many of our duos. And we'll actually get away from the water. That'll be good news for many. Now we'll see if there's another early rotation in store. I think, again, keep an eye on Alan and Mataka. But Gearzoid and Aliatar are playing a pretty generational game so far. I mean, they've got to protect this lead. Protect these points, I do mean. I mean, lead per se. They're in a good spot. I mean, they are sitting at 11th in the leaderboard, and a top 3, top 5 here would do numbers, but not when you're taking shots like that. Pessy takes down Stratus, though. That is a huge top 2. Going from them, Cry will finally finish Stratus as well. That's big for those duos. Not XP League duos, though, so we're not going to hop over there just yet. We'll keep following Aliatar and Gearzoid. Looks like things will start to calm down here, so we'll head on over to Alan and Mataka's point of view. Does seem like that they're going to be able to chill here. Cry and Pessy have taken the high ground. I don't know if they actually eliminated Stratus and Phenom fully. I'm going to try and speedrun checking that real quick. Looks like Stratus is out, had 4 eliminations. And Phenom's not out with 5 eliminations, so that's a big deal for the late game. And for those of you who are trying to keep track of the stats at home. And Cry and Pessy, again, on a generational run, going first, second, and second in their last 3 maps. I mean, the squad who finds potentially 3 wins in this tournament surely wins the whole thing. But, I mean, even 2 with 2 second places and then 1 more semi-decent top 5, top 3 might just do it. Might just be a huge comeback for those 2. But hop back around to some of our duos. Alan and Mataka making their rotate a little later than expected. About halfway through the storm timer, will find their way up into this brick and stone, or not stone, excuse me. It's brick and metal here. Should be fairly safe in this late game. However, as you can see, there's a lot of other duos who cannot say the same. Many players going down. There goes Skelly and Boat. They both get eliminated by Copper and French. That's a big top 6 matchup that Boat and Skelly needed to win that they will lose in the meantime. We'll have to check the scoreboard after this game and see how close those two are now. Storm is a 10 tick, so need to move quick if you're Alan and Mataka. Move will be made, but Alan's got to be careful here. You've got a 10 tick, and this Chug Jug will help, but still got a lot of damage. You do have the Shock Rock effect to use, but Mataka's jumped in. Ollie Otter has found an elimination in the meantime. Ollie Otter's up to 5 now. Gearzoid, however, does go down at the hands of Thunderyard. Felix will be full eliminated, but that elimination will be credited to Pessy. Phenom jumps in. That would be a huge elimination, and Phenom just barely wins the 1v1. We're talking about one of your best players in the entire lobby. That almost went down at the hands of one of our own right there, but instead, now we jump back around to Alan and Mataka, our last remaining duo. Ego Dill is still alive as well, and did just knock down a player to the Storm! Phenom goes down at the hands of Alan! Rival goes down as well! 2 eliminations for Alan, 2 big ones. Mataka trying to get the trade in the meantime. Does go down to Thunderyard and Valen, though, so now we hop around to find Ego Dill, our last remaining player, but the winning duo in this game, I mean, this has gone wide open, especially for Ego Dill, who is fresh off of a 5th place with 1 kill, has 4 eliminations, poised to potentially get a top 3 now with only 6 players remaining. I believe that's only 2 full duos. There's Thunderyard, and who doesn't have Valen, actually, and then you have that top side rotation being made. Big eliminations for Alan, though, that definitely are going to save a few tournament runs for some of these other top duos. Thunderyard, Ego Dill, head-to-head. Ego Dill takes a lot of damage, even though the replay wants to lag. In the meantime, Thunderyard trying to clinch. Copper has gone down. Ego Dill trying to stay alive to secure a top 3. Thunderyard jumping around will not take an immediate shot. The box is wide open. Able to Chug Jug. French Bulldog down here. Is Ego Dill going to be able to find this one for potentially a 5th elimination? We'll sit in the cone in the meantime, as it's actually a 1v1v1v, I think a 1v1v1v2. This is a very odd late game. Ego will try to take the bottom side. Pessy will take down French Bulldog. Player jumps down. Pessy goes nuclear and takes out 2. Cry and Pessy versus Thunderyard. And they continue a generational tournament run. They go first, second, and now first again with 9 eliminations. That also has the chance to be their best game, for sure. Their tally to beat was 89 points, a 2nd place with 11 eliminations. So, here we go. Let's go ahead and let's check the unofficial standings. And just like that, Pessy and Cry have jumped to 1st place. This is big for those two. Stratus and Phenom now will drop to 2nd place after a very, I think, confusing 10th place with 10 eliminations, but they got caught out by Cry and Pessy, who have full challenge everyone. 92 points. A massive score from them. Boat and Skelly don't drop too far. They end up dropping to 4th. It opens up a lane for Thunderyard and Valen to jump up into 2nd. Ataka and Alan still in a great spot, holding on to 5th after a great 6th place. Ego and 1 Kill Wonder remain in the top 10 consistently with a big 3rd place and 5th place. They've been on a tear, sitting at 7th. Ollie Otter and Gearzoid falling back from their back-to-back-to-back top 10s will take a 17th and a 12th. Silent has dropped down after Silent and John have had a very unfortunate last 2 maps, a 25th and 20th. And then, of course, our last duo, this is Chubb and Riker, who unfortunately for them ended up with this 23rd in this last game. So, without further ado, we get down to the wire. The winner of this entire event will come down to 11 points heading into the final map, with many other duos still in pursuit of the top 3. Nobody is safe. The action can only get better when we get back from the break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to map number 6, the final chance to win all of AEA Nationals. My name is DJ TJ. It's a pleasure to wrap up the show with you today. We've been live since about 1 o'clock, started with Rocket League, and we've been kind of just working alongside these wonderful players for the last almost 3 hours now. So, as we encroach on 6 o'clock Eastern Time, which will be that 3-hour mark, we have this final map to show you, and we jump in on a team who's been looking for a lot more, but a team who needs to find a lot more. You have Silent and John, but you also have Phenom and that duo as well. As a reminder, Phenom and Stratus held the top spot in the leaderboard for almost the entire tournament, but all of a sudden, as it seems like that Mataka, wait, hold on now. This is the perks again of having the replay. We are gonna back up because it seems like an XP League showdown just went down not too far away. Let's actually, we'll go worry about that first, and then we will jump on over to the other two duos who landed on top of one another. Let's just see what in the world happened. Mataka and Allen landed with Riker, and Mataka immediately takes down. Chubb will try to find the regain. We'll do exactly that. We'll find the trade on the Mataka. We'll be able to get the finish as well. No, we'll not, because Allen's able to swing in, and Allen saves the teammate, but was it enough? No, I believe actually Mataka did get eliminated because of all the damage that was done. Wasn't able to survive much longer, so that was what happened just then. Mataka and Allen will get out of that with 2 eliminations, and it almost ruined their entire 6-map run. So now we will hop on over to a very, very dire fight over here with Phenom and Stratus, who actually are on the run, I believe, from Silent and their duo. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Was that Cry that I just saw landing on them once again? This would be generational if Cry and them were here as well. Oh. Okay. You guys got to forgive me. This right here, I want to say this before I click play on the replay. This is unironically potentially for the game right here between Pessy and Cry, Stratus, and Phenom. This is unironically potentially for the game. So on that note, I will hop on to Cry's POV because Cry potentially is about to sneak up and potentially call a game early here. Let's get to Cry's POV now. Let's play. Silent and John are stuck in the middle of a boss fight, to say the least. Cry has a crazy vert as well. However, they are both a little split apart, so that's the duality of this play. And what is the call here? Phenom actually is going to push onto Cry. That's where Phenom took all that damage from. Cry goes down in the meantime. At the hands of Silent, who will actually be credited with the knock. Phenom will get the official elimination, I do believe. Which now leaves the other two duos to fight for it. Yeah, Phenom and Stratus did not get credited for that elimination, actually. So that goes to Cry. Or not to Cry, sorry. It goes to Silence. As he spotted out. Oh, man. This is big. Cry and Pessy have to get out of here alive, and they will do, or not both of them, obviously the other one got knocked down, but they will get out, which means surely they'll be rebooted. Well, there is the reboot card, so you'll have to pray that you're able to somehow get back to it, or you have enough gold. I forget what the tournament setting is for reboots, if the gold is still a factor for reboots or not. But, my gosh. That is an absurd start to the game. As Stratus and Phenom will now get out of dodge, which leaves just John and Silent on top of each other. Okay, well, on that note, I think that gives me the green light to hop around to some of our other duos and see how they're doing. Cry is obviously eliminated. Keep that in mind. We've lost both Chubb and Riker. So now we can check on some of our other friends. We haven't gotten to talk about Ego and One Kill Wonder, who I will give them full credit. They have gone Battle Woods every single map. I believe the last 3 maps at least, but it feels like almost every map, especially today when we've only gotten to play 4 of them. And they've gotten it for free almost every single time. This is, again, the mind games of high-level Fortnite. Everybody wanted to go to the corner. Everybody wanted to get out of the way to play a safe game. But what do? You get caught out, can't do anything about it, and you potentially just lose your entire game. But we'll have to keep a very close eye on if Cry is able to get revived. Again, I'm not sure if gold is in play when it comes to reboots or not. But man, what an incredible start to this game. I mean, that is easily one of the best starts we've had on this stream ever. With the entire tournament in the balance. Allen and Mitaka once again playing a slow game, rotating their way through Harbor in the storm, which leaves just them. Then obviously Silent and Ollie Otter, Gearzoid, and then Ego Dill. Which actually, where are they? Ego Dill and Wonder are still getting out of woods now. Okay, alright. So that's your last duo. They're still in one piece. We'll hop back onto Ollie and Gearzoid. Haven't gotten to follow them much. I also will now add this in for good measure. So, we just saw Cry get eliminated. They have an 11-point lead, and the lowest game gets dropped. Now, that is a big deal for Stratus and Phenom. Their lowest game was a 16th with 1 kill. Cry and Pezzy's last game was a 21st with 1 kill. So, if Pessy is able to carry on and get an elimination and get past the top 20, then we know they're going to improve. But the issue now is with Stratus and Phenom, both unchallenged right now. Do they beat out their top 16 placement, and do they get more eliminations? That's what's scary for those duos. Keep a close eye on your scoreboards. Pinned in the chat is the unofficial scoreboards, courtesy of our lovely, lovely friend at XP League, Adam, who is an absolute legend for his work on the back end. Basically running his own site where he's able to track these games is a huge help. So here in following Ollie and Gearzoid, there is another duo who just jumped in behind them on the map here. And now Phenom, it's Phenom and Stratus looking for their first eliminations. Surely they don't come at the hands of our own two. Gearzoid trying to run away. Will stay alive in the meantime. Will he be able to get back to Ollie? Gearzoid does leave a door open, though, which allows for Ollie to take a little bit of damage. They're going to try and back up. Probably try and pop a little bit more heals. No, they're actually going to go ahead and run. Phenom gets Ollie Otter down. That's big for the points. Gearzoid stuck in a 1v2 of absolute nightmares. But for Phenom and Stratus, this is exactly what the doctor ordered. Phenom, 1v1, Gearzoid running, turned around, stuck with Stratus now on the backside, puts a shotgun shell on, but is going to be enough. 37 white health now, stuck on the rock, getting out from under though. Phenom does catch it. Phenom lets the brick do the work. Stratus gets a pickaxe kill. Stratus gets a pickaxe kill. And we lose Gearzoid and Ollie Otter just like that. And for Stratus and Phenom, they go ahead and they jump to 2 eliminations and a top 21, which means now all they need to do is beat out 16, top 16, and they will guarantee themselves a rise in points. Oh my gosh. Can you write the script any better than this? We jump on over to Wonder and Ego Dill, who will find their way back towards a spot earlier, and all of a sudden, Mitaka in the top left takes down Dread, so we're going to actually pivot. Here we are in Sinister. Mitaka will win this 1v1 in the box with Dread. I do not believe that Dread... Well, Dread's duo actually is running away. I was going to say I'm not sure who it is. It'll be Jay who's running away right into the midst of Ego and One Kill Wonder, potentially. Hold on now. Keep a close eye on this one. This could be the most unlucky rotation between two XP League duos in just a second here. Ego doesn't spot Jay. Now spots Jay. The call has been made. Jay probably trying to get to the middle of the map to use that rift. Oh, triple jump to Jay. Jay taking a lot of damage. That's a lot of metal. Has to be dispersed. It's the early game, though. You don't mind taking storm damage. You don't mind rushing this. Jay still taking a lot of damage. Shock rocks and overdrive nades used. You miss a few pistol shots there. Jay not getting any time to heal. Are they going to know these under the bridge? Yes, they do. They see Jay. It's only one left. Jay's got almost nothing left. It's going to be the end of Jay and this duo's tournament run unless Jay finds something impossible and improbable. One kill wonder. We'll find said one kill, but it's not a wonder why they found that one at all. Now bring it down to the top 20 and get their first elimination of this game. What a crazy force from the double XP League Franklin duos. You're able to force a team from one to the next. Obviously, they're not teaming intentionally. I want to clarify that. Not teaming at all. It's just funny the way that worked out. So, just like that, we now should take maybe a moment to hop in on our top side group. But let's see how Pessy's doing. Pessy did get Cry back in the game, which means now we have to talk about what their worst placement is. Their worst placement was a 21st with 1 kill. They have already beat top 21. But to actually get a rise in points, I believe they need a top 16 bare minimum for it to be substantial. So now that means you got both these squads basically fighting for the higher placement, and whoever wins that probably wins the entire event, unless Thunderyard and Valen go nuclear and win. Who knows? Again, you can't write a script much better than this. Ego and One Kill Wonder making a late rotate deep in the zone. I think they're going to be A-okay with how they've done so far, getting their elimination. Again, Cry and Pessy making their way back. Phenom and Stratus making their way back as well. They're actually back over towards Harbor. They leave now. As Pessy and Cry are still... Phenom and Stratus almost spun back to Harbor? Okay, again, one of the craziest end tournaments, craziest Fortnite endings to a tournament I've ever seen so far. And Phenom and Stratus might find another 2 here, which is going to be nightmare news for Cry and Pessy unless they rotate in and get them. They spot Theory. We'll be able to get down through the bottom. I think Stratus is taking on a higher angle. Does spot Theory. Gets a lot of Ranger pistol shots and will take down Theory. They double up. They play the windows perfectly. Moving like a SWAT team through the building right now is Stratus and Phenom as they try to find Velix. Phenom, I believe, does spot Velix. They'll go from both sides. They get up to 4 eliminations. Phenom and Stratus. A generational game thus far if they can keep it up. They have for sure by points, they have beat their worst game. So they are guaranteed an improvement. So the bigger question is going to come down to Cry and Pessy. Where do they end up when it's all said and done? Flap back over to Silent, check on, see how they're doing. They're not far from Sanctuary, where Plague and Gabe are, as they got a few squads rotating around them, but the bigger issue is our top 2 duos are within arm's reach of one another. I think this will be Cry's moment, Pessy's moment to get the heck out of here. Rotate around. We'll see if any of our other squads are getting a little too close for comfort. Ego doing One Kill Wonder, rotating back into the zone. Might run directly into a squad here if they're not careful. Might directly run into 2 here in just a second. Haven't spotted a player yet. Do have the overdrive nade to put to work. We'll do exactly that. However, Thunderyard and Valen of all the groups and Alan and Mataka right above them. Not a place you want to be. High ground for Alan and Mataka searching. They already have 3 eliminations. Let's talk about Alan and Mataka now. Hold on. They are our highest placing XP League duo so far, and they are very much, their worst game was a 12th with 4 eliminations, which is actually great from them. And they've got 3 already, so on pace for something special. However, Stratus and Phenom, not far. They're going to run directly in through the bush. Are they potentially going to take out another XP League duo and go up to 6? This would be an absurd clutch play from them. Allen saves the build just barely there in time. Mataka takes the high ground. Oh, man. Overdrive nade is the call. They've got 4 eliminations. They've got what they want. They're going to play it safe. They're going to rotate directly into another duo, though. Thunderyard and Valen. Oh, my gosh. This would be a heartbreaker if they were to potentially knock out. Look at the W key from Phenom. Seeing these 2, they want to go for the absolute heart and throat of these top squads. Valen's in a miserable spot to try and win this 1v1. That missed shotgun shot from Phenom. That one's not the same, though. Stratus will be the one to eliminate. They keep on isolating 2v1s perfectly. And they knock out Valen, another top duo. This is the 3rd place duo that they full W key onto. Thunderyard gets out, but at what cost? Unbelievable work. They go up to 5 eliminations, taking down, not fully, the first place and third place duos right around them. There goes Cry and Pessy in the meantime, who will get away. But my gosh. We'll jump around back to an XP League duo. Here's Ego Dill, 1 Kill Wonder here on the north side of this zone. Pessy, whoa, hold on now. Pessy takes down Thunderyard, rotating. Exactly that! So Pessy and Cry get a huge first elimination. That means that they are now guaranteed by a mile. But Stratus, they want more. Stratus and Phenom want to call a game right here, right now. Cry goes down again. Pessy, 2v1 between Stratus and Phenom. They are absolutely living up to their names, living up to their titles, trying to call game right here, right now, potentially. Stratus will officially eliminate Cry. Pessy gets away once again, but only 7 health. Jumping back up through the builds. We'll be able to heal. And I believe Silent goes down. Not sure what to. But Phenom and Stratus, again, unbelievable plays thus far. John and Silent both go down. We lose them to the storm, it does seem. Overdrive nade will be pulled, which means Phenom and Stratus will now rotate, which means there is technically a world where actually they might just rotate onto another free kill, pushing hard for this one. Teammates trying to save them, but Phenom's got red in his eyes, has blood in the water here. Is it going to be C8s? Yes, it will. Again, the 2v1s, but Stratus goes down. Oh, this will be a heartbreaker right here. Phenom 1v1 goes down to 56. What? And Destiny, of all the players, of all the duos, to take out Phenom and Stratus, gets to revive the duo as well. Oh my gosh. Phenom and Stratus will finish with, I think, 5 eliminations. Yes, it is. 5 eliminations. And if my math is correct, they finish 15th. So it is an improvement. But now for Cry and Pessy, the door is wide open. It is unbelievable that Stratus and Phenom almost spun back to the original side of the fight to get Pessy and Cry after the reboot came in. Is Pessy gonna be able to stick a reboot again? Cry's alive again. The game is still alive. Cry goes down immediately though. Skelly, another top duo. Skelly and Mr. Boat, the 4th ranked group. They immediately knock out Cry in the air. Big elimination for them. Which means now I think we're guaranteed to lose Cry now. We'll hop back over to an XP League duo. Ego Dill, 1 Kill Wonder, trying to clean up from Destiny and CA's work. See if Alan and them are doing A-okay. They've got a little bit more of wiggle room to work with. And we are on the verge of another potential new map winner as big damage goes on to Destiny at the hands of our XP League duo. And how about this? 1 Kill Wonder and Ego actually find the knock. This surely has to be the W key. How about a third party from every living squad in the lobby? As the player does go down, but will be revived by CA, surely. However, unless they find CA on the bottom side, Destiny goes down. It's a big elimination for Ego. CA, basically one more shot away. That's 2 big eliminations for Ego. Pessy takes out Boo Boo as well. Big elimination for the man who's by himself. However, under fire from Ego Dill. This would be crazy if an XP League duo is the one to do it. Taka and Allen rotating high. Pessy goes down in the hands of LJ. And that's gonna do it for Pessy and Cry. So both pause the dang game. That means that both of our top 2 duos with the game on the line have gone out top 15. Only within 3 squad placements of one another. All right, let it play. Mataka and Allen. Right above another XP League counterpart in Ego Dill. And 1 Kill Wonder. They are our last remaining duos, and again, on the verge of something crazy. This game has lost our top 2, which means it's wide open for the highest ranking duo who's still remaining, which is Boat and Skelly. They have won a game. They won the 4th overall map, which was the 2nd map today. And they're on the verge of, again, something absurd. Many groups will get a chance to get free kills. However, Mataka and Allen thought they had a free kill. Won't be able to find that one. Cash Rayleigh gets injured by Allen. Will be knocked. How about Allen jumping onto Copper in a full box, though, trying to get out alive? Cash Rayleigh does go down. The elimination will be counted to Allen. That brings her tally up to 4 now. However, being attacked from the backside still. Allen stuck in the water. Built around in a cone by Mataka to at least protect him. However, LJ and Landon, Copper and French, both, I believe, putting fire on. Easily the best game of the entire tournament in front of you. Rotate over. Onto the 9th zone in just a little bit. That's a lot of damage coming from Boat and Skelly. Again, your highest current ranking duo looking for something crazy. Allen trying to get away alive and actually does. Being rushed immediately by LJ, who is actually going to rotate over. Billion stuck in a box by himself. Mataka wants more action. Mataka's deep in this fight. Has to be careful not to get eliminated by the storm. The nade to go all the way up as Mataka gets the elimination and gets back in the fight. Will be able to shield up temporarily as well. Ego doing 1 kill wonder on the outside of the middle of this looking in. They're out towards the left side of your screen. Jufu takes an elimination onto Prime. Gets right above Allen and Mataka trying to find more. Gabe on the backside has to be careful. No shots land from the AR. Mataka rotating wide will take big storm damage here. Has LJ right in front of him, but doesn't take a risk. Takes the corner, will build. Onto the 10th zone soon here. As now Scully and Mr. Boat, or Skelly, not Scully. One of the squads with everything to gain here. Again, being in 4th place right now, but with a potential win under their belt. Follow-up shots go down. Allen gets another elimination. They're up to 6. Running a little low on material, though. There's a lot of wood left, but not a lot of anything else. Rotating high. LJ goes down. They'll wrap up. Unbound! They jump directly into Mr. Boat and Skelly, though. They're going to be edited through. Allen goes down. And the 4th place duo will take out Allen. Mataka on this bottom side. They've gotten to 7 eliminations, but now before Boat and Skelly do their job, Ego Dome 1 kill wonder trying to fight for their life up there as well. Ego Dome not going to be able to get revived. 1 kill wonder trying to rotate down below. Mataka goes down. 1 kill wonder still alive, but not before the storm does the rest of the damage. Which leaves Skelly and Mr. Boat, Chow Bao and Jufu, Plague, who's dead now, and Wraith, who's a solo. It's a 2v2 v 1v1, I do believe. Boat and Skelly gonna be able to take down this vertical. Chow Bao and Jufu have to be aware of that. Have Shock Rock ready to go if needed. Wraith and Gabe, the 2 soul players, are getting a little antsy next to one another. Chow Bao and Jufu might be able to keep this vertical, but not before Mr. Boat gets up to 5 eliminations. Skelly takes down Gabe as well. They get up to 7. It's an even 2v2 to end the tournament off. Few extra pistol shots. Jufu's actually jumped down. They're a little more isolated than I think they'd like to be, but this high ground will remain uncontrolled and untested. We'll drop an extra box worth, though. Jufu trying to break down this wood, but not before taking a lot of damage from this lower side. Skelly and Mr. Boat trying to find their 2nd win of the event. I believe they would be the only squad, the 2nd squad, excuse me, to do so next to Cry and Pessy. We'll have heals, a Chug Jug to share. Jufu and Chow Bao again with this high ground. They are the favorites, but now down to our final zone. What's the call here? I think Jufu and Chow Bao are going to have to make a move at some point. I mean, it's not like Mr. Boat and Skelly can do anything. Got to be careful not to take too much storm damage here, as it'll now begin to close. Jufu and Chow Bao actually jump down in the meantime. Have to be careful on the back end. Mr. Boat takes down 1. Skelly gets the other. Mr. Boat and Skelly, a 9 elimination win. That is almost for certain to shake the standings up. Oh my days. On that note, I do now have unofficial standings to show you to see who the current leader is by our margins. we will be sending you to the mainstream, the AEA national mainstream, where you will get to follow the actual ending. But let's just throw up these results. My gosh, what a wild map 6, especially in a national tournament. First off, huge congratulations to whoever the winner is. This is not official. But by our math, it looks like that even with this 13th and even with this 15th, this is how it's going to stand. It looks like it's still going to be a 13-point victory for Cry and Pessy over everyone. But Skelly and Boat get a win there. They definitely fixed their worst game by far. Thunderyard and Valen, I thought they were going to contend longer. They get knocked out 18th. It's their worst map the entire event. Copper and French Bulldog were grinding in the shadows. Really felt like the entire... It felt like the entire... If we're being honest, the entire game, they were really having to grind in the shadows. But they stand 4 points ahead of Mataka and Allen, who get a huge back-to-back 6th place and a back-to-back 3rd place before that. A great day. A wonderful format day for them. Ego done 1 kill wonder, a huge last 3 maps. Xiaobao and Jufu, even with that 2nd place, it looks like they'll remain in the top 10. Silent, again, a day to forget for them. Their worst 4 maps, then some of their worst maps all come today. So they drop down the leaderboard a little bit. Gearzoid and Ollie Otter have some of their worst maps as well. They drop down after a very consistent first day. And then going even further down the list, here is Riker and Chubb, who unfortunately for them, they had a pretty rough ending to the day as well. So again, I want to remind everybody, this is unofficial standings. So the official standings will end up being revealed and worked on the mainstream later. So here is what we are going to do. Well, this is the mainstream. Don't mind this. I have to copy this so we can send everybody there. So I'm going to throw my face back up on stream. My name is TJ. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did, because again, that was something else. But I do want to make sure that I give all the thanks and praise that is deserved to the entire Amateur Esports Association team. They were absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. The entire weekend. Obviously, Alex and Adam getting the kids together at Middle Tennessee State, getting them together, all of the teams and associations getting their groups together. They did absolutely incredible, and this event was one of the most fun I've gotten to cast in a long time, especially Fortnite. It was one of probably the wildest map I think I've seen in a tournament thus far. So again, on that note, I want to give our big thank you from the XP League Franklin side of things. We are very excited to be giving you more consistent summer and fall action within the next few weeks. We're just this close to August. I cannot wait to get into the full swing of things with all of you very soon. So I'm going to send everybody over to the Amateur Esports Association Twitch, where they're going to roll through their finals for the day. And then as they go between breaks, I believe they're going to be announcing the Fortnite champions. So a big congratulations to all the duos who competed. And again, what a show. It was absolute cinema. My name is DJ TJ. It's been XP League Franklin. We'll see you next time.